Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Commit CPA's webinar. This is Tuesday, 3 p.m., our regular time to exchange what we know. And here today, I brought to you an interesting topic. A lot of small construction business owners often ask me, how do I submit a successful bid? Right? Bid for jobs, bid for project, and they're putting in the bid and hoping to win and to do the job. So the question to me is how to put a successful bid. You know what? Today, let's talk about it. I know this is $1 million question. There's no way I can resolve it for you. But what I can do for you is to give you what I know from so many other small contractors, because that's why you are affiliated with Community CPA, right? We are a firm with more than 10,000 clients. What does that do to us? That means we have so many experiences we can share with you. All right, let's get going without delay because on Tuesday, I only have 30 minutes with you. And this topic is literally a day topic. So, folks, you see our website. Yes, that is our website. And on our website, you can find very useful information, folks. You can come into appointment and make appointment right here, right now with our partners. These are the folks who are partners at the firm, and we have our area of specialties, and you can come to us and look at what we're specialized, and then you can come to bring us questions so we can resolve that for you, of course. And with the appointment button, and you can reach us right away. And we also have this YouTube channel. You know what is YouTube channel. You go on YouTube, you look at all kind of information there. But if you could just put in community CPA, one word or two words, doesn't matter. If you just put in community CPA, and you will find us right here. Look at what we have. All of these webinars that we did in the past, and you can literally do a search. If you are just like, oh, I want to know tax planning. What about tax planning? And do Ying has any tax planning stuff? And she's talking about, and you type in there, all of the tax planning webinars would come out. And we have so many, well, so many knowledges accumulated here is waiting for you to tap into. And we hope that you will find us there as well. All right. And the next thing we want to do is to start getting our webinar done. We start with a question. How do we put in successful bid? We end with answer, knowing it well, and there is no magic. If you're looking for a magic formula, okay, you just tell me 1 plus 1 equals to 2. That is never the case, because in business world, there is a number, 1 plus 1 do equal to 2, but there is also emotional factors, social environment, and governmental rules and regulations. All of that is not quantifiable. All of that, it is your business person's intelligence, how you're going to work it through. So let's walk through the path I created for you. Hopefully you learn one thing or two. And if you could, after the webinar, and put in subscription for our channel, or give me a thumbs up, tell me that I did a good job, that would be really rewarding. And what I'm leaving on those thumbs up, okay, just so you know. Bidding for success, tips for small contractors. And you notice that I actually say contractors because my topic is really for those little construction company. Maybe you are one man show right now, and you are, you're doing handiwork for people. So even if that's the case, and you are still good to be here, I'm sorry, with my hair sticking up, isn't that fun? And you can tell that I'm not professional in the image side, but I promise you the content. So let's look at this slide. I have that book, ladies and gentlemen. I wrote that book in 2019. It is about how to start up a business, so useful for construction field because if you ever come across people with IT, that book actually offers you the solution how to work with IT holders properly, legally, and appropriately so you don't get penalized in any way by any of the government agencies. And here, this is the book I wrote. Um, After I finished that one, I started this one and I published this one last year, March. So it just came out less than a year and it's growing your business in 10 a.m. And I am now working on the third book, and that one is 2 p.m. It's talk about expanding your business. So as a small contractor, and you start your construction company, and then you grow. There's a lot of things you can learn from this book, how to grow. And after you grow on your own to a certain size, and you will come to a point, just how community CPA is, we are coming to that point where we want to expand. Expand means that you expand geographically, you expand your business line, you expand by merger acquisition. So there's a lot of things in expansion, which means expand beyond self, beyond the business owner, right? So that is what I'm writing right now, 2 p.m. And look forward to that one. I do have a 6 p.m., which is retiring from your business. The title is not sure. And maybe I don't call it retiring, I call it repurpose. I don't know. And I'm still thinking. I'm not there yet myself. So it's hard to figure out what to do. But I am on the 2 p.m. side. So I should be able to offer you some good insight in terms of what people do when they want to expand. I write about our own experience. Of course, I have all of our clients' experience coming into the book. So what you are really seeing is a movie of everybody. Then you decide how you want to act in your own movie. Makes sense, right? All right. No responsibility disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. Always make sure that you check on the knowledge. And if you are just certainly not sure, but you heard Ying talking about it, and subscribe to our channel, and or book for a appointment to see us and get your understanding nailed down and making sure that you are not misunderstanding and you are using our knowledge to be successful in your business. Bid for jobs. Bid for jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Every small business experience bid for jobs. And you bid for jobs, I bid for jobs too. And the client coming into our office goes, I want to get this done. How much you charge? So we're bidding for jobs. And have you ever experienced failures? I'm using a strong word. Say you failed. Shame on you, you failed. No. And when you bid on a job, and if you are certain what you want, even if you didn't get it, but you still learn from it, it is really doesn't impact you negatively because business is a process of selecting customer you want. I will say that again. The business is a process where you can select the customer you want. The smaller business has a less freedom to select. The bigger business has the world to select. That is the only difference. But all of us, we are doing that. We're selecting our client. Of course, if we talk for clients, clients are also selecting their CPAs, their handymen, their construction company. That's understandable. But I'm talking in your shoes as a business owner, who owns a small construction company. So you heard people saying that, oh, your bid price is too high. We selected the lowest price. Hurt, right? Hurt. And I wish I gave a lower price. And you also hear people saying that, oh, your price is good, but I don't think you can do it. Oh, hurt. Why don't they believe me, right? So these are all very normal business conduct. And when you receive those comments and you have actions after hearing that, and you can be sure and you are fine with them not wanting you because you also don't want them. But if one condition doesn't exist, you may not feel that way. So in this 30 minutes, I want to set the very solid base for you so you can come out straight your back and say what you want. If client goes, no, you're too expensive, thank you for asking for my bid. And when you feel you're ready for my quality of service, I'll see you. And they will come back because you represent the lowest price that you can offer for the quality work that you do. How important is that? Very. You offer the lowest price you can offer based on the quality of work you do. But how can you get there? That's what we're exploring. So every small business is looking for magic formula. There is no magic formula. The magic formula is to make a number that is your base, and you know it so well, you will not waver any other way. All right. How to bid in general. And we talk about general. Every time people talk about general, some of the folks will be like, don't want you to do Dr. Phil's talk. No, don't want it. I just want you to tell me the accounting, debit, credit, and whatever that is. I know. I understand I'm not Dr. Phil, and I certainly wish I could be, but I am not. What I am here doing is to show you to show you where your mindset needs to be as a small business owner, because I come through the same way as you did. You think Ying is always bidding right? No, I bid. There are situations I bid price really low, so low that I feel like I couldn't even make it. But I want the job so bad, I bid it. What happened? And I make my people work so hard, and they still don't make it. And I literally pay money to work the file. Not good. But I want to be able to select client. By doing that process, what we do is we have a price set. This is our price. And if you like it, we'll tell you why you should selecting us, but that's our price. So to make sure that we are not regretting on client walks away, right? So general advice I have for you is when you got a bid situation, bid first. Sometimes you feel like I wait till the end, I bid. No, bid first. Because the person who received the bid always appreciated the first one come through. That add your emotional mark on there. And also, I want you to bid because if you don't get it, and you can ask for why you were not selected. And if you are bidding for a government job, especially with small construction company, you probably bid with a big contractor or government job, and you want to know why you were not selected. And that learning process is huge. So I want to make sure that you bid and you ask for why you didn't get it. And don't chase every job. Okay, don't ever try to be the lowest. You may happen to be the lowest because your business is small, your overhead is small, and you don't have a lot of baggages. So you're just one man show. You know you're gonna work 10 hours. You want to make $200 an hour, and then what you do is you ask for $2,000. Okay, you may be the lowest bid, but you should never make that your goal. Okay, identify the decision maker who asking you for the bid and build trust. You may not get bid this time, but leave a good impression and know that the world continues. They continue with you, they continue with your children. And I will tell you that in business, one important things I learned, I am an immigrant to US, right? So I moved from China to Canada, from Canada to US. And one thing I did not learn in the early years is the stableness in your life. The place you are in for a long time offers a lot of value. But people as an immigrant like myself, you may not realize that because you just kind of live couple years in here, couple years there, couple years here. You move around all the time. You never really benefited from the relationship. But if you stay in one place for 20 years, 30 years, one generation, two generation, these people have relationships. They're gonna beat you in the bid war. Why not? I think they deserve to beat you, right? Because they have the relationship. So knowing that, folks, I encourage our small business owners to learn to stick with an area, to build relationship in that area, because that will help you a lot. Because you won't be able to bid a job. If you're in Iowa, you bid a California job, forget about it. And so you want to bid, you live in Iowa, you bid Iowa, but because you live here and you want to develop your business, then you need to develop everyone around you. And doesn't matter if it is the parents of your kids, friends, or it's the grocery store cashiers. And everywhere you go, you have one goal in mind. This is your community. You want to build it. So that's really very, very key. You just don't know how that come around. Right now, like a lot of times when we have clients come to us, it's not because we did anything with them. It's because they know us from one person to another. And one client came to a community CPA, said that, I was looking for a CPA firm, and there's 3 different people, they don't know each other, but they all recommended community CPA. So I don't need to ask, you are the right place. So imagine that. But community CPA has been community CPA area, Des Moines, Iowa, for what? For almost 28 years. And we have been in Bloomington almost 8 years. So years, time. So make sure that is your connection. Very important. That's in general. Like if you want to bid, you start developing, connection. And the bid for the quality, deliver the value. And you are small. So make small the sticking point. Make small worth something. What I mean by that, I have an example to give you. This is a real story. This plumber guy is our client. He got this job to fix the plumbing problem in a house. And then when he went in and fixed the plumbing job, then he realized that the drywall, the tiles, wherever around that area wasn't insulated properly. So I guess whatever draft or even animals could come in from there. So he knows that it needs to be insulated properly. So he is a small plumbing contractor, and he worked is the big contractor hired him. So he went in to fix that specific problem. And he actually told the big contractor that if you hire me, I am doing it. I don't hire other people. So you have the boss working on the small project. So, I charge a little bit more, but it would be a good quality of work. So he sold it. So they hired him. When he went in to see that drywall tile problem, you know what he did? He actually told the boss that, I know you don't do anything else, but if you can tell the general contractor that I actually can fix this for them, and it's outside of my work, but I can do it. I'm only going to charge materials plus 20% of profit. So that 20% will just be what I do. So then the plumbing contractor told the general contractor said, oh, that's great, you do it. And next thing we know, he started taking more work from this general contractor. So you see, small does sell. That's why every day there are small businesses becoming big. Every day they are big companies who didn't run properly and bankrupt. So if you are the business owner, if you are the entrepreneurs with ambitions and hardworking spirit, just like community CPA, like me, and I am that way. I work very hard, but I have ambition. I also understand how to move the firm from one person, one client to 40 professional, over 10,000 clients. And that is the process. But you can go through that process by understanding who you are today. Being small is a selling point. I do have clients who left us because they think you are too big and we want small. That is our shortcoming. And if big company can figure out how to always be small and selling on the small side, that would be a genius. I am still studying it. Okay. So with that said, break down your bid and explain to the person why you charge that way. Be open to your bid. That's a trick for small business people to get the job. Be open and say this is the material cost. Say this is overhead I need to cover. And this is the profit I want to make. And I am giving you this price. That's the key. And embrace technology, of course. Embrace technology is something that I know it is difficult for a lot of small businesses, especially some of us don't even, I do, but I know my client, they don't even speak English. And they, not to say they only knows the phone. And other than that, outside of the phone technology, everything else is too much. But I want to mention to you that to be efficient, and you have to adopt the technology. And if you cannot adopt technology, you can look for other people to do it for you. Your high school son, your children, they can help you. And also, you can use professional firm. I'll give you an example. We have a company who does hotel building. And when they just started, they did the first hotel. It was a lot of work because the crew don't know how to do, they don't really even write anything. So everything from the bid all the way to the invoice, from invoice all the way to the retainers and the community CPA, we work that process for the client. So they retained us to do all of these paperwork and it just with the communication with us on the text message. So with that, I just want to give you example by saying that it doesn't matter what difficulty you have a way to resolve it. You need technology. You need to got your invoice come out look professional. And if you want to just do a handwritten invoice, you're never gonna go anywhere. People want not because they don't read your hand notes, it's because they don't see you adopting technology. They don't see you can be efficient. How efficient can we? We just use our two hands. We have to have tools, right? Same thing with accountant. We have to have knowledge and tools to be efficient for you. Otherwise, we'll be counting beans all day, every day. There's no way we can take care of 10,000 some clients. That'll be ridiculous, right? Same thing with you folks. You want to, in construction, you do want to adopt technology. And define project scope. This is something I really, really want to hone into your bones, not even your fibers and just your bones. You need to know in construction field, it is so easy to go outside of the scope. Very easy. So having a scope set, like that plumber, and he went in to fix the plumbing, and he saw these walls and the floors, and he didn't go just fix it up and then tell the owner that, oh, I fixed your plumbing, and here's my invoice. And by the way, I also fixed your drywall and your tiles, and so to prevent from draft coming. No, he didn't do that. What did he do? He actually proposed a new project. I can do that for you if you think it's convenient. Here is my charge, very transparent. You pay me for all the materials and give me 20% above that. And so that is what we call sensitivity to project scope. And we want you to make sure that you understand what you're going into, right? And additional work need to be proposed additionally. And when we talk about scope, what's all included in there is project objective and goals. You need to know that. And you need to know the deliverables and the milestones. Milestones typically are, if in the big construction, you want the foundation to be done, then after that, drywalling, and then insulation, then inside, interior. So all of these big milestones that you know how long that takes, what material you need. So those are the scopes. And the specific task and activity that is needed for your people who work with you in that project. And if you just say, oh, build a house, people will get lost. I know you know that. You know to work with this person and making sure the basement is done, and then you start building your house up, right? Timeline and deadline. These are, you're gonna say to me that, Ying, what are you talking about? This is computer software. This is a computer product. It's not something we do. When we do it manually, we just like, good handshake and a couple words, we're good. No, and you can do that. A good handshake with handwritten notes, that still work, right? But the thing is, in your mind, in your client's mind, that scope need to be solid. Okay, so understand, align with your client's requirement. That is a magic for a good bid. And sometimes when we receive, I see my clients receiving bidding inquiries from people from other large companies. For example, this airport project right now is going on and pretty hot out there. A lot of contractors are looking at getting involved with that. And you want to study their requirement, really understand what they're asking, bid just what they're asking. If anything in addition to that, you should make additional money. So I have this one example here. This example is actually a real example from before COVID-19. So the price might be different on the material side, but the idea is here. I want to give you this idea. So basically, when you bid on a job, construction job, you have these categories I give you: material and labor, indirect cost, and the total bid. Just three big areas. I know it's easy for me to say, just three things. What are you talking about? But the thing is that these are the three things, and you need to have yourself mentally have the clarity. Like you need to know that really well. And the material, you need to know that. In this one particular bid, and our client bid material for 100,000. And for the labor side, our client has his own crews. And like he always just work with one or two people. So to work on the job. So he knows exactly how to pay these people. And one of them is a contractor, one of them is employee. So for the one that's employee, you need to add 12% on the amount you pay. And for the workers' comp insurance, you need to add 25%. So those subcontractors, if they have their own company, they can supply you with the workers' comp certificate. If they are the only owner to their LLC, they could even get an exemption from workers' comp insurance, but they need to present that to you so you don't have to count the 25%. But you see how those labor costs is not just what you pay to them. You need to add 25%, 12% on top of it. So what is that? 37%. Okay. And now talk about indirect cost. Indirect cost is just simply not material cost, not labor cost, but yet it is the cost for you to run your business. For example, you may have indirect cost because you have to have a secretary who help you to sort out your material costs to each project and things like that, right? And so you have on your indirect cost, you have this admin piece, and right here I did a 3%, but that's because our client had we're doing their accounting, so we added up all their indirect costs and look at all the project hours that they have into their past project. So we know that for the project, if we tap onto 3%, then it will cover the admin portion of the cost, and then the general liability. When we purchase general liability, and we would allocate that into project as well, so we know that 2%, and then we have the intended profit. You see, this one is 10%. My client at that time, and he was littler. He actually told me that we were talking about having this one be 20%. He said no, not for this big project, and he wants to cut that down. So he did 10%. So the bid cost coming in 284,000. I'll tell you that after 6 months they got this done. There was additional bid for outside of the house, because this is just for the house. Then there's also backyard and a fence and things like that. So that's an additional bid because of the scope is different. So my client bid on different part of related to this house. So in the end, they actually have almost close to 350,000 in total of sales for this house. They did make more than 10% of the profit margin and just slightly more than 10%. So it is kind of went in really nicely, came out just as how we expected. So I just want to kind of give you this and let you realize that this is how people bid. So when you bid with the confidence, knowing what you are, knowing what you have, and what your bottom line is, and then go in to do a firm bid, not to say to your customer that, oh, this is my firm bid, okay? If you don't like it, go away. No, firm bid is to yourself. It is in your heart. You know this is firm bid. But if the customer goes, oh, then I will do all the material for you. So would you lower that your bid by certain amount? Then you recalculate. So negotiation, right? So I want to make sure that every of the folks who listen to this webinar and would take home one or two things and to make sure that you apply to your next bid. So I also have slides with suppliers, subcontractors, and also material cost. All of this is trying to break it down for you so that you can actually know how to, when you bid them, what you're thinking. And equipment cost is also a more complex one. I just want you to realize that if you buy a new equipment for something and, for a contract work, and then after that, no more similar contract work comes to you, that would be your loss. So you don't want to buy equipment until you put in marketing effort. You have enough job to come to use this equipment, and then you can put in the equipment cost and make money by recovering the cost of equipment first. Equipment cost allocation is not related to taxes, folks. And what we are talking about, the percentage allocation has nothing to do with cost, with the taxes, with IRS. And that is totally separate stories. When you do these completion method for IRS, that is because we're trying to tell IRS that we didn't make so much money. Our deposit is really a deposit, not really an income. So that is a way to convince IRS that we made this money, not that. But all of these allocations related to the cost we are talking about today, and also overhead costs that we're allocating today, it really has nothing to do with IRS. It's you. It's you decide how to assign that for your job. Okay. And contingency plan is another one. I really want to mention that to you. And even if just a paragraph, if there's anything happen and related to federal declared disasters, and we'll renegotiate our price. If someone put in that before COVID, and then the project will not lose so much money during the COVID time. We have quite a few contractors really lost a lot of money because the contract was fixated. It was nailed down with no clause to address contingencies and other things. So they ended up losing money. Technology, a lot of small construction companies use smartsheet.com and Perco.com. So I just want to mention that to you. Final thought. I have 30 minutes. I need to respect your time. Final thought. Develop solid budget numbers. Okay. You rely on your accountant if you don't have one. And if you're not good for that, and consult with community CPA. We're always here. Do not expect to win every bid. Just get rid of that thought in your mind. You don't need to win every bid, but you need to learn from every bid. Develop relationship. I mentioned that to you, right? Important for people who are new to the country. When the work is on hand, do whatever it takes to get it done well, even if it is over the budget. If you bid, you got it, you need to do it. And even if you lose money, I'm sorry, you need to fight it. And of course, if it is anything outside of the scope, don't fight it. But you want to make sure that you fulfill your promise because every eyes are looking at you. You want to make sure it is correct. It is done to the satisfaction of your customer. And be involved with serious like organization, nonprofit organization, an organization that helping you to grow your relationship, grow your clientele, and just kind of get involved with these helping agencies and find the best CPA for your industry and let accountant guide you on the numbers. Not all the accountant knows can be a psychologist, but knowing a little bit of psychologist is really helpful, right? I didn't really learn anything about that, but I think I have learned from my 10,000 some clients over the years. I really understand how business owners' minds work. That's why I'm writing those books. All right, conclusion. And you learn how to bid successfully. Tell me when you did it or when you lost it and how you feel. And email Catherine at communitycpa.com. And we're the only CPA firm open 6 days a week. Give us a try. Call us on Saturday. We're there. I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.